Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel, and today welcome to my Game Week 7 Serie A predictions. I mean, the season is going by so quickly, and I'll tell you what, we've got some very good games to look forward to this weekend, so make sure to smash like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. And the first game of Game Week 7 in Serie A is Lecce against Sassuolo. Sassuolo, I think, winning for the international break. I'm not sure. Lecce, I think they beat Parma 1-0, which was a big win, to be fair to them. But this game, I feel like Sassuolo will probably be favourites coming into this. I think they are higher in the league than Lecce. Might be wrong, I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, Lecce, to go to Parma away before the international break and going there and winning as well, considering from what's in a Parma, they look quite defensive and quite difficult to break down. And Lecce are a team that I think have lost Nikola Kristovic. I'm not 100% sure, can't exactly remember off the top of my head. But they are a team, Lecce, that don't really score many goals. And yes, it was only a narrow 1-0 win. But for a team like Lecce, who don't really score many goals, and Parma are a side who are difficult to break down, then for Lecce to go there and win is a big win. But at home, Sassuolo, I'd probably say are maybe slightly a bit above Parma at the moment. Obviously they got Berardi, who's pretty much the main man, really. I think they got someone else up front, I can't remember his name, who I think is recognisable. It's like Pinamonti or something I might be thinking of. He might play for a different team, I'm not sure. But I swear they got some lad who's got like Pina in his name. But I'm going to go, it'll be a tight game. I'm going to go 2-1 Sassuolo. And the next game is Pisa against Hellas Verona. A big game really, and you could say what is an early relegation 6-pointer. I think both sides haven't won a game yet in the league, so it's not looking great for either side at the moment. Obviously Pisa, you'd expect them to struggle. It's their first time back in Serie A for a very long time, so you kind of expect, I'd say, Pisa to kind of be in that position. Verona, you could say the same, but I thought they probably would have been a bit better than what they have done. But this is definitely a winnable. But both sides, I've kind of made that wrong. Both sides will be looking at this game thinking, we've got a chance to win here. And I think from looking at both sides at this minute in time, I'll probably back Pisa to win. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game. It'll probably be one of those scrappy games where both sides will really go for it. I can't believe we're talking about early relegation, like 6-pointer, only 7 games into the season. It's kind of mad, to be honest with you. But I think home advantage as well might play into account. So I think Pisa are going to win this game. It'll be a very tight game. It really could go either way, this one. But I'm going to back Pisa to get their first win in Serie A in a very long time. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Pisa. And the next game sees the defending champions Napoli travel to the Grande di Torino to take on Torino. Napoli, obviously, still top of the league. I think they're top on goal difference. I think them and Roma have got the same points, but I think Napoli are top on goal difference. Of course, Napoli obviously playing before all of the teams that are in the title race at this minute in time, which are obviously Napoli themselves, obviously Roma, Inter and Juventus, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But I think looking at this game, Napoli should be winning this. Torino, Torino, they're okay. They're decent. They're not great, but they're okay. I have noticed as well that Napoli, even though they are winning, defensively they have conceded a few goals. I think they've conceded 6 goals so far this season. They are scoring quite a few as well. They have scored 12, I think, so far this season, Napoli, but they are conceding quite a bit. So Torino might, if they can get an early 1-0 lead, because before the international break, Genoa, I think, I can't remember what game I was watching. I was watching I think it was Brentford Man City was the half-4 game. I was like, oh, I'll see how Napoli are getting on. And I saw that because Napoli were playing Genoa, and obviously Genoa were actually winning 1-0. I was like, oh wow, I wasn't really expecting that. But obviously Napoli did turn it around. But to me, I mean, first of all, Baroni is one of those managers who likes to sit defensively. So if they do get an early lead to Torino and sit back, then maybe they could get a win. But Napoli and Napoli, they have that champions mentality. They've got a good team, and I think Napoli are going to win 2-1. And the next game, what a game, will be streamed. Do not worry, so make sure to be there. It is Roma taking on Inter at the Stadio Olimpico. Now, my God, what a game this should be. Inter on a good run of form at the moment. I think their last 5 games they've played in all competitions, I think Inter have won all 5 of them, which is kind of impressive if you think about it. If you kind of think about it, I mean, the teams they have played, they haven't really been as difficult as you think. I mean, they have played Ajax, into which Ajax are a decent side. I mean, look at the teams they've played in the league. I mean, they obviously battered Cremonense. Can't remember who else they've played, but the teams they've played really haven't been as difficult. So this will be kind of a test to Inter, because I haven't really had an opportunity to watch Roma. And I'm actually really looking forward to watch this game, mainly to see how Roma do, because I've heard very, very, very good things at Roma. I mean, they've had an unreal start to the season, currently second in the league. And Gasparini, since he's came in, has done very well at the moment. Got a good win, Roma 2-1 away at Fiorentina before the international break. And, this is a big game for both teams, really. Inter on a good run of form. Can they keep that momentum going? And then you've got Roma, who are doing well under Gasparini at this minute in time. Can they keep their form going under him as well? But to be fair, I think Roma haven't beaten Inter at home since October 2016. So, I don't know, that might come into play. But overall, whatever happens, it's going to be a very, very good game. It's 2 very good teams going up against each other. So I'm going to go with a high-scoring 2-2 draw. And the next game sees Como taking on Juventus. Another good game, I feel like. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. That kid just made me jump. He literally started running. Fucking hell, that made me jump. Jesus Christ. Sorry. I swear that's like twice in a row now, because last week I got hit by a tree. Well, like a few weeks ago I got hit by a tree. And now some kid with mate. Fucking hell. Anyway, this should be a good game, I think. Juventus, I watched them against AC Milan. They played well in that. Well, I mean, they played okay, but I think the result overall was probably a bit of a frustrating one for Juventus, in the sense that they weren't kind of clicking. I feel like Juventus, they weren't really themselves. And you look at Como, I mean, Como are doing okay at the moment. I mean, I think they haven't won recently. I think they've drawn a few games, and I mean, this could go either. I mean, it could be Como, it could be Juve, anything could happen really in this game. And as well, I think both sides are missing a few players due to injury, so that might have an effect on the game. Who knows? But I mean, Juve, the players that aren't injured, is their front line. Yildiz, Conceição, etc. Conceição, I thought, had a very good game against AC Milan. I thought him and Yildiz were quite good, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the striker options as well at Juventus. You've got what's his face? David, who just isn't really clicking. You've got Vlahovic, who's just... They haven't really got the best striker options up front. I think they're really good attacking options, really, at the moment. They're probably Yildiz and Conceição. Other than that, I don't really see where the attacking options are at this minute. But it won't be an easy game for Juventus. Como are a good side. I like Como. I like the way they play. They've got a good manager in Fabregas. They've got good players. And plus, well, this will be a It'll be a good battle as well. Nico Paz against Kernan Yildiz. Because I think there has been a bit of a debate over in Italy who's better between Paz and Yildiz. I mean, I think both of them are absolutely unbelievable. I think it's a tough debate to call, really, because I think both of them are probably as good as each other at this minute in time. But it'll be a good game. And I'm going to go with another 2-2 draw. And the next game, it sees Cagliari taking on Bologna. Bologna doing well at the moment. I think they're currently 7th in the league, having a decent season. Cagliari, I think they're currently mid-table, near the relegation zone. Can't exactly remember off the top of my head. But Bologna probably will be favourites coming into this. I mean, Cagliari, at home, they might have a chance. But I think Bologna are looking good at the moment under Italiano. So I'm going to go 3-0 Bologna. And the next game, we have got Genoa taking on Parma. Now, to be honest, I didn't actually realise that Genoa were 19th. I didn't really realise that until I was writing down my predictions. I looked at the table, I was like, Genoa are 19th. I mean, I wasn't really expecting them to be that low, to be honest, because I remember saying recently that Genoa can be one of those unpredictable sides, but you look what they are and you look at their form at the moment, maybe they're not one of those unpredictable sides. I don't know, but maybe you could say as well that they have had some of the big teams. I think they've had Napoli recently. They've had to play against Juventus as well. They have had some difficult teams to play against. So maybe Parma at home could be, 1, a chance for a win for Genoa, and maybe 2, to kickstart that season properly. Even though I do think Genoa did draw to Lecce at the start of the season, which on paper is probably a winnable game for Genoa. But you look at Parma, I mean, I know they did lose to Lecce, but from what I've seen of them, because I do remember I think they played Juventus, Parma, on match day 1, and they looked solid at the back. They're a tough team to break down. I don't know if Carlos Quest has changed his style of play. I don't know. I may be wrong, I might not be, I don't know. But I think Genoa will be looking at this thinking we've got a chance of getting a result here. But it won't be easy because Parma are okay, so they can be, one week they can be good, one week they can be a bit shit. So I'm going to go with a draw, 1-1. And the next game is Atalanta facing Lazio at the Gw7 Stadium, or I think as it is now known, that is the New Balance Stadium. They must have a deal with New Balance or something. I don't know. But Atalanta, they're actually on a decent run of form. I think I was looking before I made this video. I think they've only lost 1 game in all competitions so far this season. That was when they got absolutely pumped 4-0 by PSG in the Champions League. But other than that, Atalanta are actually on. They haven't actually done as bad, to be honest with you. I mean, I thought under Juric they were kind of struggling a little bit because, we've seen how he's done in the past and stuff. And you look at this Atalanta team, considering they've lost Lookman as well, they've actually not done as bad as I thought, to be fair. And then you've got Lazio. Lazio are one of those, you look at Lazio this season, they've been a bit on and off, really. One week, Lazio can look really good. And the other week, they can just look a bit crap. You don't really know what's it. Why is it so dark down there? There we go, got a bit of light over there. I was going to say, you can barely see me. Sorry guys, you can actually barely see me. But I'll be able to get some light in a minute. But Lazio, like I said, they're kind of one of those sides that are kind of unpredictable. You don't really know what to expect. You don't know what Lazio team is going to turn up. Oh, there we go, got a bit of light thanks to that car. But it's probably going to go. Yeah, there we go. Lazio, like I said, they're just one of those unpredictable teams. I think both teams can look at this thinking, there's a good chance of 3 points here. But I don't know, I'm going to go with a draw. A lot of people predicted the draw. I'm going with a draw, 1-1. And the next game is AC Milan against Fiorentina. Well, AC Milan have started very well. By the way, apologies if you can't see me again, but there is a lamppost over there, so we'll be able to get some light in a minute. But AC Milan, they've started very well under Allegri. Of course, they did lose that opening game of the season against Cremonese. Not the best start for them, but ever since then, they've actually done really well and got a very good result, I thought, against Juventus. before the international break. I thought defensively they were set up very well. And I think, for me, looking at this Milan side, they are looking a lot better than they were last season. You look at last season, they were just leaking in many goals. It was just a bit of a mess at Milan. And now you've got this team now under Allegri. I think they're more structured. I think they're more set up. They just look a bit of a better team, in my opinion. AC Milan. I mean, then you've got Fiorentina. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Oh my God, there's people over there, for fuck's sake. I don't really know where to start with. I don't really know where to start with Fiorentina, to be honest, because they have had a shocking start to the season. I can tell you that now. They have had a terrible start to this season. Hold on. That noise is very annoying, I can tell you that. Anyway, like I was saying, Fiorentina have had quite a very poor start to the season. I think I checked the table after the Juventus game. I didn't realise Fiorentina was 17th. 17th in the table. I mean, that is kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. But they're 17th. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, clearly something isn't clicking. Maybe it must be the manager then, clearly, because for a team like Fiorentina to be 17th, I think it's absolutely nuts, in my opinion. I think a team like Fiorentina to be 17th is absolutely nuts, considering they had a decent campaign, to be fair to them, last season. But I think, just looking at both sides at the minute, I think there's probably screams of one winner, and I think that is AC Milan. So I'm going to put back the Rossoneri to win 3-0. And the final game of this game week, it is a mid-table clash. It's Cremonese taking on Udinese. Cremonese kind of struggling, you could say, a little bit at this minute in time. Cremonese, they did get battered pretty much before the international break, losing 4-1 to Inter, but that is Inter Milan at the end of the day. Udinese, I think, 1-2, drawn 2, lost 2 so far this season, so they're looking okay at the moment. Cremonese, they're starting well, they're still doing okay, but they're kind of falling off a little bit. This could be I don't know, it's a kind of a tough game to call, you could say. I'm going to sit on the fence and go with a 2-2 draw. And I'm literally about to walk through the door, so that's the end of the video. Smash a like, subscribe, and see you next time.